Listeners be advised. The Soliloquy podcast discuss matters related to the human experience and many that are sexual in nature. Due to this, some conversations may surround triggering topics such as sexual violence, self-harm, abuse, and much more. Please be advised, a list of crisis and psychological resources will be available in the show notes of this episode. With that said, let's get started with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please as we go through the following safety instructions.
In the event that there is a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will drop from the overhead. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Breathe normally as oxygen is flowing even if the mask is not in. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. This is your favorite host, Vernon T. Scott, also known as Slaytor Jackson, and for you freaking motherfuckers out there, Sebastian Adams. On today's episode, we're busting out the whips. I have my riding prop over here. I have some feathers for feather play. I got a lot of toys. There's so many toys around here. This will be a great time to like plug the vibrator in my pod. Y'all should be listening to it. I don't know what is the most recent episode when this one comes out, but just listen to that because I have a lot of toys. I have like 20 at this point. Yeah. I need to do better. But with me today, I have Ann Bell back onto the show. How are you doing?
I'm good, Vernon. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And I'm not joking. Like, I really do keep some toys over here near me just for my reporting. Like, this is one of them. I need to do better for real. I brought my toy bag in here a couple weeks ago and I just left it and I forgot why I brought it in here in this room.
So you haven't used it since?
No. Well, I just recently got this the Below Motion by Love Honey, and yeah, it's been a good experience.
Is that toy there?
It's not. I need to bring it in here.
I would love to see that. I'm a visual girl. I want to see what you're talking about.
It looks like an air freshener.
Really?
Like the kind that you just stand alone and just like puffs up the air every now and again.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those. Like when I looked at it, I was like, wow, I fucks with this. Like I could hide a toy in plain sight and nobody would know. Like if you have the right scents going off, people just like, oh, I love the smell. Like, where did you get this air freshener? It looks so unique. What are these buttons for? Mind your business.
It's funny because I tend to move a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And one time I had to move on the fly. I had very short notice. And my family, came to move my dresser. I'm like, just don't open the second drawer. I didn't get a chance to pack anything. Don't open the second drawer.
It's a bomb. You do not want to see what's in there.
They're like, okay.
Oh my God. I support.
Well, toys just enhance play.
That is true.
To get your toys, people. Get your toys.
Get them. If I know, like toys can be very pricey, but if you don't have the funds, find the cheaper version online. You like Amazon got them everywhere. They sell toys at Walmart now and Target. So we're in a completely different age. Like
I got my first one back in early 90s in Spencer's. The vibrator, and you turn the bottom of it. It was very like a rocket ship, kind of looked like that. I had no idea because my partner said, "Go get a vibrator." I'm like, "Where?" And I found it at Spencer's, and I'm like, "I didn't even know how to use it." So I came back, and I'm like, he said, "Did you use it?" I says, "I have to tell you, I don't even know how to use this."
Oh.
He explained it to me, okay, because we were having phone conversations. He wasn't a boyfriend; he was kind of like a mentor coach,
Hmm.
but he was a friend. And he says, "Now go use it." I said, "Okay." I hung up and he says, "Call me back." It was just a few minutes later. I'm like, I got on the phone. I'm like, "Oh my God. Is this what I've been missing?"
I am shooketh. Oh
He's
my.
like, "Yes." And I'm like,
I kicked over three doors, a coffee table, and I put a hole in the wall. It was that fucking good. Okay.
that was a true story. I was like, "Oh my God."
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. Like, get your big O people. Get it. Find it. Enjoy it and keep it near you.
Don't ever let it go.
Don't ever. That's like I love it
Learn
for
learn how.
like with many guys or penis owning people. It's a little bit simpler in terms of like masturbating and coming, but once you experience an orgasm that does not like produce cum, yeah, the world changes a little bit. And I
Hmm.
hope that for a lot of people out there. Most definitely you individuals with penises, like experience what it's like to not
Hmm.
come in orgasm.
Yeah.
It's a good feel. It is a good feeling. Oh my God. Okay. Let me not sit in that moment. We need to like get into this episode. So before we start talking about kinks and fetishes, do you mind reminding everybody about their greatness, what you do, your history, all the great shit?
Okay, sure. Well, my name is Ann Bell. I'm a love and sex coach. I started out as a massage therapist, and I realized that people were talking to me on the table about everything and anything. So in 2012, I decided to take my first life coaching certification. And when the pandemic hit in 2020, I went back and became certified in love, sex, and relationships. So I am here to remind women that their pleasure matters and they deserve to have an enjoyable sex life.
And that's that. So let's get heavy into this topic. What are some of the myths you know of that's related to kinks as well as fetishes?
It's funny because I actually went and made some notes about all of this
Hmm.
because I think it's very important topic to get right. I think people think that when they experience kinks and BDSM, and there's a scale of it
Mm.
of what kink is. There's even vanilla people are kinky. They just don't know it. When you're
Mm.
spanking and tying each other up, you're kinky. That's kink.
And it's fine.
And yes, and then there's the hardcore stuff, the BDSM stuff. So I think the first myth is that everybody is insane. That it's all abusive
Mm.
and it's all about sex. And that's the least what it's all about. Some dynamics have no sex, so it depends what you're doing. So I find that to be, and it's either you're vanilla or you're kinky. That's a myth.
Mm.
You're on the scale, believe it or not. Everybody has a little bit of them.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I think those are some of the main things.
And I, well, first off, I appreciate you for mentioning the spanking aspect, most definitely within vanilla spaces, because I love the phrasing that my friend Adrienne used at one time because she thought she was very vanilla, and she learned that she's a lot more kinkier than she thought. So within that conversation, she mentioned vanilla goes with everything, and I was like, and that's the mindset that I wish a lot more people will have, most definitely if they are of the like vanilla circles. To understand that, yeah, we all engage in some way in a little bit of vanilla. Be it if we appreciate missionary style. There's some ways that you can experience that within kink spaces as well as in non-kink spaces. It's like regardless of where you are, it's just you're expressing your sexuality and you're enjoying your sexuality, and that is all okay. It's not that, oh, you have to, if you do one little thing that's outside of the norm, you're now in extreme territory. No, no, you're just doing something that you're comfortable with and that you enjoy, and that is perfectly fine. Does that mean that now you have to whip out everything, buy the chains, buy the whips, cuffs, all that stuff just because you did one little thing outside of your regular norm? No, if you want to, feel free to do that, explore those things, and enjoy it if that's the things that fit for you. Is just I tend to feel saddened by the shame that comes along with being outside of the vanilla, as well as those within kink spaces shaming those who are within the vanilla.
Yes.
I'm saying.
Yes. I agree with you. But just to there's a big Christian community in the BDSM world. Shh. But I won't talk about that, okay? But just to let you all know, it's out there. They're
Right.
there.
They're there.
But I think you're totally right. It's imagination, it's sexual play, it's using our erotic play, it's fantasy. You can go the gamut with it all. It depends where you are on the scale. And you know what? As long as it's consensual, consent, 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 consent. As long as everybody knows what's happening in the dynamic, stay the fuck out of other people's bedrooms.
Oh my, oh my, oh Lord. Something, oh yes, that phrasing. Yes, stay out of my bedroom.
That's it. That's it.
Yes.
What you do is of no concern to me. Well, a little bit maybe because I'm a voyeur, so I might want to watch.
Speak your heart, okay? Look, I'm not judging. I just want to watch, okay?
I do. Doesn't mean I want. Doesn't mean I want to do, but it means I want to watch. And that's my thing. And there's exhibitionists, and exhibitionists are great for voyeurs.
That
Without them, I wouldn't have any fodder. I wouldn't have any material to get off on.
This is bringing me back to a conversation I had with my friend Tyrell. This was like last year sometime, and I was like, I would love for there to be. I don't have the funds to do this, but if I did, I would definitely do this. But like a area like a grassy area where you just have walls up for nobody to look in. You got trees, you got all the great things. It's like a park. And adults just go there and they just enjoy it. They just, be out in the open having sex. You have different scenarios that they can play in, and it's just fun. You get to live out your exhibitionist ideals. You get to watch people. For those who are voyeurs, you get to do a lot of freaky and kinky shit just out there in the open and just enjoy the shit. But I also know that will be a very hard thing to manage to build in the current environment that we are in. But hopefully someday we can get something like that popping so that, because I think about whenever I watch some of the amateur porn, and I see people out in the woods having sex, and I'm just like, but if you get caught, like I'm not consenting to like look at you have sex
Right.
while I'm at the park. That's no.
Right.
I came here to enjoy the fresh air, and now I'm smelling Badusi. I don't
Right.
want that.
That's the part with public play. But that's why they make dungeons.
No, that's true. That is
You go
very true.
you go to a dungeon, your local dungeon, and you can experience all of that.
Right.
And a lot of them are hidden. They have to stay hidden. It's private. They have to stay hidden because there's so many objections to it.
Mm.
And I just find it so silly, to tell you the honest truth. I just don't understand why it's your business.
Exactly. If people are here in a safe location, there's no true dangerous bodily harm, meaning non-consensual bodily harm,
Hmm.
then let people be great. Let them enjoy their spaces that they're in. Who's been hurt other than the person who consented to that pain? Like
Hmm. And
if
people don't realize in the dungeons, you have strict regulations.
mhm.
They have a dungeon monitor, they have people watching. If you're going to do some on the harder core play, you have to get it approved. So there are protocols that are followed even in that world. It's just not a
Mhm.
free for all.
That part. I'll dream. I'll continue to dream. But I need to really do my homework and like find more dungeons, most definitely in my local area. But I doubt there's any here because this city is very conservative in a way. But well, I will be moving to another city soon, and I know they have them there, but nah, nah. Mm-mm.
What do you mean no? What does that mean?
It's Atlanta. I'm just not a huge fan of Atlanta.
Oh. I've never been. Why aren't you a fan?
The traffic is horrible. Some of the people just are
Oh.
very pretentious, and it's just like I don't need that energy. Like I've come across way more sex negative people than I have sex positive people in a city that advertises itself as being very sexually open, and it's just very
Oh
weird.
yeah.
I'm just like I'm confused. So I found more sex positive people in my neck of the woods here in Augusta than I have in Atlanta, and there's a lot more queer people in Atlanta, so it doesn't make sense. The Holiloquy podcast focuses on the variability of sexual expression. When it comes to sexual expression, we often depend on pornography to illustrate how one must perform sexually. For those who have not learned this by now, the stuff you see in porn is not real. Pornography provides a singular perspective of sexual expression that is not often the reality we see during our own sexual encounters. The Holiloquy podcast is a conversation that takes you outside of the compressed box of what many know about sex. Some of the topics we discuss includes kinks, condom usage, status disclosure, and past sexual experiences. The Holiloquy podcast steps out on sexual norms and recognizes that the norm is not the only normal. Subscribe today and join the conversation. Like I found more sex positive people in my neck of the woods here in Augusta than I have in Atlanta, and there's a lot more queer people in Atlanta, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. When I was in Brazil for 9 months, and they're very open. They have clubs that are right, a bar right on the street. You just walk in, no big deal. And I met a couple, and we became friends, him and I, with bad English and bad Portuguese. And he took me to show me a motel. The motels are the long ones, right? Hotels are up and down. Motel
Mm-hmm.
that was, each room was set up totally like a little mini dungeon, and you could order sex toys and you could order food. They had two menus.
Oh my gosh,
I was
I need to go to
it
Brazil.
was so phenomenal. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool.
I know where I'm moving for at least a year, because that sounds beautiful. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I'm like, look, you can order food and sex toys. Who would have
Oh, see, that just sounds so beautiful, and I'm quite sure that the food is flowing all hours of the night. Like, oh, I just came. I feel filthy. Let me go ahead and
thought? Service.
grab something to eat.
Yeah,
Can I get a margarita too?
Yeah, you drive in. I mean, well, everything's gated in Brazil, and you drive in, you speak to the woman, she gives you a room number, you drive to the parking space, and it was still like, oh my God, look at this.
America could never. Well, the United States could never. Well,
Well,
probably in
because
some places.
we keep trying to pretend we're something that we're not.
Uh, that part.
And instead of just embracing our sexuality. And those of the religious end, the conservative religious people, they want us all to be like them. And
Mhm,
we're not like them. But
mhm.
they make it wrong that we embrace our sexuality. I don't know what their uptightness is about, but they can go fuck themselves.
That might help them become a lot less uptight. Like I'm a firm believer that they're that way because they have not orgasmed yet in their life. And that's 60% for women, and that I will say 80% for men. Actually, it's 30 or so percent of men who've faked orgasms in their life.
Is
So
it
I
that high?
mhm. I think
Really?
it's
I would.
it's 30 or 40. I forget the exact number. And I'm like, wow. I would say that it's those people. I'm joking.
Them.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm quite sure it's not all of you, but I feel like it's a good
All
chunk.
right. 29%.
Of both groups. You just need a little bit of titillation. That's all. That used to be a cure for a lot of things back in the day. So, oh my gosh,
Oh,
if that was
so
still if orgasm was still a cure for a headache, bitch, I
it
need to go
is a
to the
cure.
doctor.
It is a cure for a headache. It's cure for menstrual cramps.
Look,
There's so many cures. Orgasm. It's that dopamine hit. Like woof.
look, doctors, please prescribe orgasms to people so we can just make this like let's normalize it that way. Like, hey, I need for you to have at least 5 orgasms per week
I
in
tell
order
my
for you to be
clients that, my women, my female clients, I'm like, you have a migraine when you feel it coming, orgasm, and you don't need a partner. See if you can catch it with that. Menstrual cramps, orgasm.
well, we need to do an infomercial. Are you within the 60% of, no, sorry. Are you within the 40% of women who have yet to have an orgasm? Are you within the 30% of men who fake their orgasm? Well, guess what? We have a secret for you. You may need to masturbate. Come multiple times today. You can do so by calling 1-800-COMIN today. 1-800-COMIN today. It's spelled like cumin.
That's good.
Today is T2DY. In our slogan, are you still coming?
Yeah. Did you fill the bucket?
I have arrived.
Does she know what's on her face?
I'm done. Oh, that reminds me of when there was that.
Your hair.
I remember that article that was like, "Oh, if you're trying to prevent breast cancer, all you have to do is swallow cum." I was like, there had to have been a man who did this research. There's no way.
I was talking to one of my clients yesterday. We were talking about swallowing pills, and she was telling me, "Oh, her granddaughter can't swallow pills." So I said, "Oh, I have sisters that can't swallow pills." I said, "You know what? I figured if I can swallow semen, I can swallow a pill.
That
Just
part.
throw it back and down it goes."
You know what? Technically speaking, if they can swallow cum, they can just ask your partner to take the medication for you, and let's see how that works out. Maybe through transference, you will get the meds that you. It's
If
nutritious.
not, keep trying. It might take a few times.
Oh my god. We are so far off topic. Oh my God. I love that we're here.
Oh my.
Oh,
Let's
too
hope
many.
the audience has a sense of humor.
Well, at least I know once we said conservative, at least one person gave me a thumbs down, and I appreciate you for that. You're right to give me a thumbs down. Oh God. Okay. Oh, oh, Jesus. The dopamine is too high. All right, all right. Okay, we're back. We're back. Professional. I need to stop lying to myself. So,
Friday night.
yes. Okay, all right. So, the next thing to talk about as it relates to kinks is how we should not yuck other people's yum. It's an
Oh,
important thing. It is very important. Like I'm a firm believer. Hey, if it's not for me, I will tell you it's not for me. But you continue to do your thing. I love it for you. Enjoy, and find the person that matches for you with this particular thing. Because I know there's certain things that I'm just uncomfortable with doing. Have I tried it? Some, yes. Others, no. But I've gotten to a point where I'm just like, it's not in my bedroom. Why should I
right.
care?
Exactly. I think where it becomes a problem is when you're pressured,
Mm,
when you're given the ultimatum, if you don't do this, then I'm not going to do whatever, whatever the consequences is. And you just have to really stand in your convictions about that. If it's something you're very uncomfortable with,
mhm.
then you have to say, well, then sorry, then we can't move forward. Because again, if they're not going to respect your boundaries, they're not going to respect much about you either. Anything else in any other arena.
I agree 100%. I'm a huge firm believer that once the ultimatum comes up, it's more than likely a sign that the relationship is over.
Yes.
Depend most definitely if it's something that will make an individual compromise themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if like that TV show that came out on Netflix, The Ultimatum. I only was able to sit through 1.5 episodes, and I'm just like, yeah, this is just triggering me every episode. Like
Yeah.
it's too much. I just have to leave it because like to me, each couple had reasonable things behind it. And I know some of it was rooted in fear, but to go to the extent that they were swapping partners and all this, yeah, probably worked out for some of them. That's great. I love that for them. But it's just, you're already at this point. You
Yeah.
say, marry me or it's over. Okay. So it's easy. Is that easy to get rid of me? That because we don't have a ring to symbolize this relationship, or we're not moving to this step that you feel that we need to be in at this moment, you can just get rid of me because of that, then that to me sounds like we shouldn't really be in this relationship because I'm not at a
Well,
Mhm.
I think it's important though, if that you went into that relationship and you wanted to get married, and
Mm.
the other person was like, okay, and then it's not happening, not happening, not happening,
Mhm.
and you have timelines, you want families, then you have to take a look at some of it because there's bigger problems going on there.
Mm.
If you're given an ultimatum, there's bigger problems going on.
I
And
agree.
you're right. The relationship is probably, you're going to now either settle, how many on that show? I've watched that show. How many you'll go, okay, I still want you and I can settle for this. I don't need to have that. And they settled because they were afraid to lose that person. Why are you afraid to lose that person?
Mm.
If you're not going in the same direction, there's somebody that will go in the direction you
Mm.
want to go in. So that's where I think knowing what you want in a relationship ahead of time and dating someone who's in that lane doesn't necessarily be that one for you, but if you're
Mhm.
both marriage oriented and family oriented, don't date someone that doesn't want a family or doesn't want to be married. You're
Mm,
not going to change their
you're
minds.
not. You're not. No matter how great of a person you are, it's just not within them, or they're just not ready. Like if
Yeah,
you.
it's not, it's, just don't.
Hmm.
They could be ready down the road, but there's down the road, you're there and they're still not ready. You are and they're not. You're still in the same situation, but now you're in love and you have all these feelings.
Poor people. Poor people.
What we do to ourselves.
Right, right. I personally hope I'm not ever in that situation where I have to present an ultimatum to a partner. But I think, well, just who I am today, I feel as though I will just already have in my mind that it's time for me to get out of this.
Mm,
Because I see that the direction that we're going in is not mutual. It's a one-sided thing. So that means, okay, let me allow you your space to do whatever the hell that you need to do while I look for that those opportunities elsewhere. Or if it's within the confounds of the relationship and I still love this partner, this person so much, and I want them to stay in my life, I will entertain the idea of, hey, can we open this up? I want to be with you. I'm choosing to be with you every single day, but there are certain things within within our relationship that I'm missing out on that I can find for another person. Is that something that you're comfortable with? If that's a no, then I'm sorry.
yeah.
It's like,
And those are hard conversations, but you have to be willing to have hard conversations in relationships
I agree.
because that's how they're there. That's how they've gotten in those situations where they're on a TV show given an ultimatum.
Hmm.
But some of that's they're starstruck. Some of them go from show to show to show to show.
Mm,
So I don't know how realistic any of that is.
that's a good point. Because there's been some things I'm just like, this just doesn't seem right. This- Therapy is your friend, people. I will not stop saying this. That's like every time I watch Love is Blind, I enjoyed the concept of it, but I'm also like, look, they need more time than this because
Yes.
if you're not having coaches with these people, therapists with these people, and a lot more mental health counseling to like build these relationships up within this 30 to 90-day period, it's gonna
Yeah.
fail. It's just gonna fail.
What's the show? Which one is it that they do that with Pastor Cal and the two other counselors? What's the name? It's not Love is
Oh,
Blind, that one.
that one's oh, I know this. Not it's
That one
Love
puts
at First
more,
Sight.
yes, that one puts more of an effort into it
Hmm.
with the counseling and guiding them and helping them, but still it's really unrealistic.
Mm.
In 30 days to marry someone, I'm like, ooh.
Look, that's too much. That's a lot of pressure. You're making like, who? This is a financial decision. I don't. What do your student loans look like? Because I don't have it. Like, can we buy a house after this engagement? Like, what are we doing here? I need to know.
That's so true.
Oh God. Back to the yums.
Oh.
Are-
What I tell people, couples, women, if your partner's coming to you and they want to try something and it's out of your scope of experience or understanding or you don't know, I'm like, don't go ooh.
Mm,
Don't go ooh. Just put on your poker face and get curious
mm,
and just say to them, okay, what is it about this? You can hold two thoughts. You can be like, oh no, I can be curious because that oh no can turn into the more you understand what they're asking can turn into, oh, that doesn't sound so bad.
exactly.
Oh, maybe I would like to try that. But that's through the conversation, that's through education, that's through conversation. So, it could be off putting in the beginning, but just don't go, ooh.
Yes.
Get curious, ask more about it.
Like it is very important to like research these things. Like there's
Mhm.
so much content out there, and even for those people who are wanting to ask their partner to do something that they always wanted to try, have some video with you in the process, and like beginner videos, so that they will understand. Oh, okay, this is how that works. This is what that looks like. This is what this sounds like. It's not as dangerous as I immediately thought. We can ease our way into this. Like it's something that it's a conversation for one. Like and start the the discussion as such. Don't just automatically assume, oh, my partner has to be comfortable with this. Or like you were saying, automatically just going ill about it. It's just let's come to a place of understanding. If it's a prep talk that you have to have, hey, there's something that I want to try that I don't, it may seem very jarring to you at first, but I have some things that you can watch just so that you can get familiar with what these acts are. Are you comfortable with engaging in this conversation in this moment? If yes, great. If no, okay, what do you think there will be a time that you may want to revisit this conversation at a later date? And then just maneuver after that. So
And
it's
don't do it in the bedroom in the act of.
that part.
Do not do that. You're going to kill it.
Mm,
You're going to pick a time when you're both comfortable, you're getting along well, you're at dinner, maybe you're taking a walk, something that's not all this pressure,
mm,
on the couple. When it's easy, and then approach them. I really love our sex life. I enjoy you very much. I'm having some fantasies. I'm thinking about some things. I saw this that I would like to try. Are you open for it? I would really love for us to discuss it. I can provide some material for you. Are you open?
mm. Hopefully they listen. If they don't, just don't give them an ultimatum. Please don't.
Yeah, please
Please
don't
don't.
ultimatum. Yes.
You're going to have sex with me in this manner, or we're not going to be together. Okay, goodbye. As soon as anyone tells me, or we will not be together, then you can go. Thank you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will find a way to heal after this. I promise.
Yeah, but that's where your boundaries come in. You have to be really clear, you have to be strong, and you have to enforce them because it's important.
It is.
Otherwise, you're nipping away at your self-esteem. Otherwise, they're going to take and take and take and take from you.
Mm, that
And
part.
you're going to become very angry, very depressed, very bitter. And that's not going to be healthy for your relationship.
Not one bit.
Yes.
So, I think this would be a good time to bring up the most popular fetish, which is the foot fetish. What you
It's
got?
funny. It's funny because when I took my certification, I went back, there's a whole module on foot fetish.
Really?
Yes, a whole module. 47% of people are into feet and toes.
Mm,
I mean, it's really, really a popular thing. And it can vary from they even there's 3 degrees of it. Well, first, a fetish, let me read the official definition. A fetish is an object or body part who is real or fantasized presence and psychologically necessary for sexual gratification, and that object of fixation to the extent that it may interfere with complete sexual satisfaction.
mm,
So, in other words, some people can't get off. If it's the foot fetish, they can't get off unless there's feet involved. So there's actually 3 degrees: optional, preferred, and exclusive. So optional, it's part of the sexual repertoire. Preferred, being in the fetish is preferred, better than not. And exclusive, in order for arousal, the object of a desire must be incorporated through the fantasy or reality. I
mm.
found that interesting
That is very interesting.
that they degreed it.
I need to I need to take that module, honestly. Like, I learned something new about fetishes. I did not think it would be like three different. There's levels to this shit, Vernon.
I know when I went back, I was like, oh, and let me see if I can say this correctly because sometimes I have a lazy tongue. Paraphilias are all fetishes are under this category. So a foot fetish is under paraphilias.
Mm.
That's what they're all called.
Oh God.
But there's also shoe fetishes, foot fetishes, which can lead to stocking fetishes. You know, the foot in what did I read? It's like a penis going into the vagina when you put your foot in the shoe.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to say the foot that has a vagina attached to it.
No, Vernon.
I was because like I
No,
don't own
it's
that toy, but I don't mind having it just to be like, oh look, it's this. But yeah,
but I never thought of it when you slip your foot. Now I'm going to think about it. When you slip your foot into the shoe, it's like a penis going into the vagina. You know, I'm
that
like,
is
oh, wow. Who thinks of these things?
right. See, this now you can't. Whoever hears this, they will never think about teaching their child how to put on their shoe and tie their shoe the same way again. Well, the rabbit ears and all this other shit. Now you're just like, oh, I cannot say you're putting your penis in the vagina. And then you're putting on the rabbit ears to like put the bow on it. Okay. Oh
But you
no.
know, some people really have a lot of guilt and shame about this. They think they're so abnormal with these type of fetishes. So when we educate ourselves about them, it diminishes all of that. Takes, diminishes the fear and helps with the shame and the guilt.
Oh, so sad. This is
The
why.
feet are very popular. I mean, I would get asked in massage
Mhm.
usually by men, because when the face cradle before COVID, you just had your face cradle, they'd be face down and be open, they could see in the feet on the floor. And summertime I wear sandals and I keep my feet very nice. I like my feet, so I have pedicures. I keep them very nice because I like my feet. Maybe I have a little bit of foot
A little
fetish.
bit, just a little
I
bit.
might.
49%.
I might. And one guy said to me, I just love your toes. I'm like, oh, thank you. He goes, I could come all over them. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to hear that. You
Mm.
can't be telling me that during
Oh.
this,
Mm.
because during massage, you keep it, clean. And he's like, well, you said you could say anything. I says, not that, not that.
You went too far. This was the wall. You jumped.
But he got into his foot fetish and he
Mhm.
was telling me all about it. I love summer. I love the sandals. I love the feet. I love the toes. So it was very interesting to hear his perspective about, how he basically got off on feet.
Mm.
And it's funny because I had another guy who was telling me recently about his he likes the feet, let me take pictures of your feet. I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. But wait, I gotta take a drink. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You are fine.
He says,
Moisturize the throat.
I know. He says, have you ever heard of trampoline? And I'm like, well, I heard of it. Tell me what it is. He says it's when you stand on my chest. He says, I'll
Stand.
teach. Yeah,
Stand.
I'll teach you. Yeah, I'll teach you how to do it. And I said to him, how did you ever get into this? Because I want to know what it does for you
Hmm.
psychologically. And it came from when he was young. His babysitter, I guess, used to restrain him and put her foot on his chest to hold him down, and it turned into a fetish for him.
Oh,
Mm-hmm,
interesting.
mm-hmm.
This is going into my the one of the things I wanted to research so heavily is just how the connection between kinks, fetishes, and trauma. Like how some people utilize BDSM to help heal from trauma and whatnot,
Yes.
and it's a beautiful thing, and I love it. But it's just fascinating how the mind works.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And it's interesting because I mentioned the last podcast, I like to be tied up. I like that feeling. It made me feel safe. Um, and it was something that was, trauma based for me. And finally I emotionally healed it with the physical restraints. And now I don't have the need for bondage anymore. It's like it doesn't do anything for me because I was able to heal it on many different levels.
Ah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But some people aren't interested in that. They just want to experience, they don't even put the connection together.
Mm-hmm.
They just know they want to experience this. It gives them this type of feeling, whether it's safety or whatever they're seeking, and they want more of that. They don't go to the why. There's people, some people are not that inquisitive about
Mm-hmm.
themselves.
See, this is why these conversations are always so beautiful to me because you learn some great things. It's just the perspectives and the lived experiences of other people. Like I'm a fan of data, and I like
Mhm.
understand, the science behind everything. The statistics is great, but the I will forever say this: statistics do not give you context. They do not give you the story behind anything. It's just some numbers that you manipulate to for understanding, and you write
Mhm.
about it. You say this is the probable causes and all this other stuff, causality and causation, all those things. But when you hear the stories and the histories of different people and how they get to this certain point in their life, it's just so beautiful. It's amazing. I love this thing. I love this podcast because of that. Well,
Yeah, it's very interesting. And here was the other thought. Why wait, I got my notes all over the place because I don't put anything in order. Um, People that identify, fetishes of footwear and foot fetishes, perhaps it's because the clitoris and the foot are on the same sensory part of the brain.
oh.
Mm.
Mm.
So, you're putting your foot in
It's
the shoe.
interesting.
Yeah, it's
That
going all
is,
the way up.
see this. I don't know if like I'm always open to having a side that has like an extreme foot fetish who loves just the touch of it and giving foot massages because look, if you want to give me a foot massage and it gives you pleasure, I'm all here for it.
Yes. And there's many people that just do that. That's all they want to do is care for your feet.
Where are you? If you're out there and you want to care for Vernon's feet, just slide in my DMs on Instagram. I'm here. I will make sure I communicate with the person that shall not be named about all of this as well. So, just to see if they want a foot massage too. We can make this into a throuple event. You, that person, and me. All getting a foot massage, and you're just going to be the bringer of that. I appreciate you for all that you do and your contribution to society. Would you like a reward or something like that? Like, show yourself.
You're so funny, Vernon.
Oh
Well,
goodness.
and then there's toe sucking.
Oh
It's
God,
like
yes.
it's like oral sex. So when you put your fingers between each web, I mean, it's like fucking the toes. So there, when you can't have intercourse, there's so many outer course things you can
Mm,
do.
mm.
There's always something you can do to get some sort of sexual gratification. So all these things sound weird, but until you try them, they're really not weird.
Right. It's funny that you mentioned outer course because that's of those 4 to 5 things before the penetration, one of them is actually going to be like related to a foot massage. And I'm intrigued to see how that goes. Mm,
And when you do these things, it's interesting because it's about intention. So now I do therapeutic massage. So my intention is to be therapeutic.
mhm.
When I'm looking to make a couples massage video, and so I've been practicing on certain, people in my social circle, And the intent, when I switch my intent, and it's actually energetic for me, I
Hmm.
can literally think I want to now go sensual, and I can watch the person feel that.
Hmm.
Instead of therapeutic, I can go into, I'm like, look at this, and their body will respond. And it's very fascinating to sit and watch what you can, when you're intent, what it is and what you can do.
Oh, beautiful thought. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let me. My mind is racing. Um, so we're going to go into a little bit of Never Have I Ever.
Oh God,
You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm going to do.
Let's hope I do better.
You're fine. I promise. So, never have I ever worn a very sexy Halloween costume.
No, I don't dress up for Halloween.
Oh, I
It's not
get
my
it.
thing.
It's okay. But have you ever worn a sexy costume just for the hell of it?
Yes,
Mm.
and I'll say no more.
Oh, because I was really about to ask. Give the details. I've worn a sexy Halloween costume before. Was this last year? What year is it? 2023, 2021. I was a mix between Poseidon, and a rock star and something else, but I had a fishnet outfit on. I painted myself green and I just felt great. Had pasties over my nipples and had to put on a wig, and you couldn't tell me anything. I was just like, fuck around and find out.
I love fishnets.
It's so comfortable.
Oh,
Sexy.
they are the hottest, sexiest fucking thing on the face of the earth.
I agree. Mm.
Mm, nice pair of heels. Oof.
I might no. I was thinking that I'll probably wear fishnet for this live tonight, but no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to continue on the outfit that I already planned.
Are you sure?
I might put the fishnet under.
Okay. Fishnets are hot.
It's yes. Yes. Oh God. Yeah, I might put that under.
If I
Um
could wear stilettos
mhm,
without falling, it's not. I used to, but not anymore. The fuck me shoes.
mm,
Oh, fishnet stilettos. Oof, oof, oof.
mm. Yes. It's giving this is the kink. When they say kink, they're talking about me. When they say BDSM, I'm beyond that. I am sex in hills. I am sex in fishnet. Oh, you should have seen me come through the door. Oh my. Yes, yes. Get out the moment, Vernon. Get out the moment. So this is going to be interesting. Never have I ever flashed someone.
Oh, I have.
Really? Is there a story to this?
It wasn't the greatest, but no, yeah. I think there was too much alcohol involved. And I will say no more on that one.
Sounds about right. I feel like most cases of someone flashing other people is because they've had too much to drink. Because I
Yes.
have yet to hear of a sober flash. Like I have not flashed anyone unless you count butt crack. If it's butt crack, I flash plenty of people and I hope they enjoyed the sight.
That's funny.
Oh God, I don't think I've drank that much yet. But would you like a sets question before we close everything out?
Sure.
So, oh, this is related to the topic.
Oh,
So, if you had to lay three kink cards other than BDSM on the table, what would they be?
oh, well, I would like my puppy play.
Hmm,
I like that. Um, hmm,
this is hard.
it is hard.
I know I will add feather play for mine. So feather play is definitely one of those kink cards that will play. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Why they had to?
I would role play.
Oh,
Um,
yes. Both. Yes, yes. Role play is always there. Yes.
I think I would like to be the school marm who disciplines the boy.
Oh, you kinky.
Yeah, I think I would like that.
I support discipline. I support discipline. Um,
And I would wear my black patent leather shoes, and I think he would have to like, really worship them.
see, I would do. I would love to do like an angry scene with somebody, that gets a little physical, but not too physical, like a little bit of choking in there, and do that toxic and not toxic throat grab, kissing, and making like that kind of thing that you
Throw
see
you
in
against the
movies.
wall and pin you
Yes,
with their
which is
hands.
which is definitely unhealthy in like actual relationship, but in the scene in this scenario is very healthy.
Yes, because it's a fantasy.
That part. Um,
Well, what is the number one fantasy for women? Um, Rape.
mm,
But it's not, but somebody else called it something else. Oh my God.
oh,
Because they didn't like
consensual
the,
non-consent.
no, it
No,
was
yeah.
something else that began with an R. I should have wrote it down. If I don't write things down, I can't remember them.
Mm,
Because he said that, rape play was too harsh.
hmm
But he called it something else. I'm gonna have to, um, but that, that like take me scenario,
hmm
that is very popular for women. It's not necessarily rape, but a little force, take me, just
hmm
have your way with me,
hmm
because then women can let down all of their control. So
Oh, let's see. So that means we both have a third card that we have to play.
I
Um,
didn't give you three.
no, because we stopped that role play, and that's the one that we both were like, yes, role play is definitely there. Mm, God, and I hate that they said other than BDSM because I think
It's
using
all
BDSM is like a cop out. It makes you have to like really think about different things.
well, it's all part of it though.
That is true.
It's very vague. Bondage,
Um,
discipline, sadomasochist.
hmm.
Well, for me, I'm the voyeur, so I want to watch. I want to watch some of it go down. I mean, I would love to go to a strip club and watch.
I will see. I would definitely perform at a strip club. Now think about it. I would.
One time in early 30s, I was a part-time driver for a florist, and our local strip club, one of the girls got flowers, and the husband of the owner, the husband and wife, he was fighting with me who's going to go to the strip club and deliver the flowers. Thank God his wife stepped in and said, "You're not going, she's going." So I went, and this big burly security guard, he's like, "Wait here." I'm like, "Okay." And I had these flowers. Her name was Cherry. And he goes away, and I just scooted right on up. I'm like, "Well, I'm here. I want to see what this is." And
Hmm
I put my head in, and I'm watching, and I didn't see him come back. And he goes, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey, is Cherry here? Give me the flowers." I'm like,
I'm supposed to deliver this in person. I'm
yeah,
already here.
he was really big, so I wasn't going to argue with him.
Understandable. Ooh, okay. I know what my third one is. Body worship. If that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I think
That's a
that
good
would be.
one.
hmm Like,
That's a good one.
gaze upon me. You can't touch yet.
Can't touch this.
There's so many. It's like there's so many different kinky things that you can do, and when I was not expecting this card. I was not.
Well, there's food play.
Mm,
You can be a smorgasbord. That's a good couple thing to do.
Ooh, body painting. That would be so like me
I've
painting
had
my
that done. It's
partner.
so cool. Yeah, yeah. I've had it done to me professionally, and it's really cool. So it would be
Oh,
really cool to do it to a partner. Mm.
there's so many kinky things. I just want to just experience it all and just be like, oh my God. So we're not, Vernon, stop living in these moments, okay? You're be present, be on this call. You
Come
got
back
things
to
to
the
do.
call, Vernon.
Come back.
Is it time to say
Right.
goodnight?
Vernon, we've been through this entire episode. You cannot be zoning out. Oh God, on that note, and is there any last words that you would like to share with the audience before I close this out?
Have fun. Make sure it's consensual. Explore. Talk to your partner. Have those awkward conversations and go get your good sex.
Oh, yes, yes, good sex. Yes. Your pleasure matters. Your pleasure matters.
Your pleasure matters.
So, all your great things will be in the show notes for everyone to access. So, y'all definitely check that out. And thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. I greatly appreciate you and love you so very much.
You too, Vernon. Thank you.
Of course. And to the audience out there, thank you all so much for listening to the Holistically podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. Just in case no one else told you this today, you are beautiful, you are worthy of happiness and joy, you are enough and then some. You may not live up to the expectations of others, but that is okay. You are only required to walk in your own shoes. May each day you live lead you towards abundance. With that said, love you all, and I'll see you next episode. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Soliloquy Podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at www.soliloquy.com. That's www.heauxliloquy.com. Share the podcast with your friends and join the conversation.